This is actually live. When we say things are live, they may or might not be live. But today, I have a very daring guest. I love it. I've got Dr. Scott Jung online with me today, and we're doing this thing live. So if you have any questions out there, I feel free to leave any comments in any of the social media channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, and we'll have Scott answer live. So don't be afraid. I'm gonna bring on Scott right now. How's it going, Scott? Dr. Scott
Good.
John.
How are you?
Thanks for joining me today. And this, if you believe it or not, I ask, do you want to try it live? Everybody's kind of a little afraid, but here we are. We're going live. This is great.
Yeah. Well, I feel adventurous today, so.
That's great. It is Friday, so if there was a day, how's work today? How's the practice today?
Practice was good. We had a pretty busy day. Usually my Fridays are one of the quieter days of the week because it's just me and one hygienist. But today I got other side things that I was doing.
Yeah.
So it kept me busy.
Any interesting cases this week or recently?
Actually, you know what? Yeah. So today I did my first case of 3D printed crowns.
Oh.
So it's obviously we're not dabbling in the permanent crowns yet, but we did a temporary crown, a long-term
Nice.
temporary. We'll be watching it for the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's very interesting.
So what material is it printing in then?
This is the most recent resin I have. It's called the Rodent Titan.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
a nano ceramic hybrid. I think it's like a third generation thing. It's showing a lot of promise. So we'll see how it goes.
That's amazing. So just obviously posterior.
Yeah, it's on the number 3.5.
Cool. And is this obviously something you're going to start doing?
Yeah, I got a full mouth, well, not a full mouth, full uppercase coming up that I'm printing and I'm staining, and I will do a long-term provisionals with it to kind of evaluate the aesthetics and in the occlusions and all that, and later on we'll probably switch to all ceramics later.
Amazing. So let's talk about this. Let's dive into this. How much has this changed your world? 3D printing. Let's dive into this.
Sure. You know what? 3D printing is a game changer for me.
Yeah.
It really is. It allows me to have more control over my cases. I think that's the benefit. Everybody talks about the speed and how we can do it chairside, but I think the key here is getting more control over your workflow. So I don't have to rely on my lab so much in order to get these cases going. I can my own self, if I have the time, I will wax it up, I'll design it, I'll print it, and I'll cement it.
That's amazing. So, what do you think? So, obviously, I've got some laboratory friends, and obviously, you work closely with Mark Kwan and all that. They're connected to SkyCAD and all that.
Yes.
What do you see in terms of now that we're doing more of these things chairside?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see the lab fitting in your practice in the future?
Well, you know what? Labs are not gonna go away though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
3D printing, I don't think it's going to replace the labs, because all it'll do is it'll open up another category of restorations that are basically may replace our direct fillings.
Right.
So the resin fillings that we've been doing, they are good as they can be, but they are we know that indirect is the best way to go. So inlays and onlays and stuff. But people avoid doing that because of the complicated workflow involved in it.
Right. It's not established, right? There's no real workflow that's established yet.
I'm sure there's many clinicians who's doing a wonderful job and they have their workflow, but average Joe to get into it. It's a lot of investment
Hmm. Hmm.
and a lot of commitment to actually set up that workflow to fit into your practice. But I
Right.
think the 3D printing will make that much more simpler so that people in general can do that much more.
Yeah, I think too, like honestly, the the price point too, like a mill versus it's still the old subtractive versus additive tech manufacturing, right?
Absolutely.
It's going to be more economical to do additive than subtractive. So I've been in the realm of this the whole mill and everything, and that's quite an investment, you know.
It is. Yeah.
What's your opinion on like when are we gonna start 3D printing permanent crowns? When's that gonna happen?
Oh yeah, in the States though, they have approved a couple of resins for the permanent crown.
Hmm.
But somebody said this. I read this comment on Facebook. Somebody said it the best. Even if you have steel beams composing the crowns, if you glue it all together with the Elmo's glue, it still is gonna break.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, a 3D printing resins, as at this moment, is basically ceramic fillers surrounded by resins. That's it.
Right.
So it's not going to be as strong as the glass ceramics, unfortunately. So
Do
even
they
if they call it a permanent.
do we like we're eventually gonna figure this out though, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think so. You know what? Just recently, was it last week? Sprint Ray got made a very very interesting announcement about their new printing technology. So they were able to print highly filled ceramic resin. So I'm interested to see how that evolves. Hello.
This is this is what happens when we do the show live, Mark. We
Of
got this
course.
is for everybody that wants to know.
I, I love it.
This is Princess. Awesome. So yeah, no, I've been super interested in this whole world. It's this technology. Even I would say even in the last 5 years, if we look at the intraoral scanner now versus even some of the like the software part of it, the things
Oh
that
yeah.
you're able to do with the scanner technology. Itero with their new Lumina out, and just and then now we're talking about adding AI and really pushing diagnostics forward too. So this is a pretty exciting time to be. I consider myself to be a bit of a nerd, so it's fun to see all these cool gadgets coming out. You guys are so lucky with the tools that you get to use in practice. It must make your life like really interesting. Like I can
Yeah.
see I'm watching
Absolutely.
you and what you're doing, and you're just like jumping on live here onto this thing. You're all in. I love it. I love that.
That's right.
And
I mean, I'm a natural born geek, I claim to be.
yeah,
So all these technologies throwing at us, I just love it.
yeah, no kidding. So what would you say out of all of your tools in your practice currently? What's your most favorite?
My most favorite intraoral scan,
The scanner.
definitely.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I haven't
What?
taken a PBS impression for like last 3 years.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What scanner are you rolling with?
I actually have two. I have Itero Element 5D.
Yep.
Okay. But I don't use that much. my
No.
hygienist my
Oh, okay.
hygienist loves that. Yeah. And then also my main one is Medit i700.
The i700. Yeah,
That's right.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. Like it's great. I've worked with that. There's the i900 is coming out soon. I see.
Yeah, apparently very very soon. I think next week they're gonna have an announcement, so I'm excited to see what's
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, you're gonna get your hands on one of those.
Well, that's quite an investment. Let's see what the price tag is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. What is it about the Meta? What do you love about the scanner? Like what makes a good scanner to you?
Uh, for Medit, the scanner is good. it's great, and I think it gives you best bang for buck. But I think the what I love about Medit is actually not the scanner; it's actually their software.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, they keep pushing their softwares updates very consistently and very frequently, and also they have a array of their apps in their software. So basically, they have a pretty much good CAD program, which is free and accessible to everybody. It doesn't have you don't even have to have Medit scanner to use that.
And that's all through. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Medic link, right? And
That's right.
yeah, it was a couple of years back now. It's I actually was selling the Medit, and I was quite impressed with the offering. Like there was some really
Hmm.
cool pieces, like you just mentioned. In terms of selling cases and stuff. So they're really pushing the envelope too, and even price point too. Like
That's
you
right.
know, bringing down like let's it's super competitive if I can call it that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was super impressed with it back. It was the i500. They were just getting into the i700, so it was fast and accurate. I think you can claim that all scanners are fast and accurate. It's what else is it going to do for you now, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I love my scanner. My Medit scanner has been my beast.
yeah. Are they going to do any sort of like carries detection in that? Is it you've
I don't know. My Itero has those carries detectors.
mhm.
I don't, to be honest, I don't use it that often.
No, hey, what
Yeah.
is it? Just because you just haven't dove into it yet, or what? What?
No, it's pretty limited in its use
Yeah.
because it can detect the interproximals pretty
Okay.
well.
Right.
Yeah, but anything like occlusal surfaces or under filling buccal surfaces, it can't really detect those.
Ah. So we're
So
not quite.
it's
Yeah.
still good X-rays and my eyes. That's it
Yeah. 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 For now, right? Until you
for
can.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually, we'll get a day where you scan and the AIs will tell you what to do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they'll be
And
our mastermind.
yeah, and scary enough, like scary or not, depending on your opinion on things like that's. I don't know. Like I'm utilizing AI in my life. Like it's enriched my life. I think it's if you think about it as it's just another great tool to use alongside your day to day. It's really it's helped me. And I can see like if we're talking diagnostic, yeah, like if it aids you in seeing these things and you're catching things that you know maybe you might have missed. um, I think it's great. I think it's great. Are you utilizing AI anywhere in your day to day, be it in the practice or anywhere else?
AI, I guess not really. Not really.
No.
No, no, not in my workflow. Um, I hope there's more AI coming up for dental practices, but
Hmm.
I haven't had a chance to utilize that yet. I know there's AIs helping design crowns, bridges, and splints and all that stuff, but I haven't
Hmm.
really delved into it yet.
It's coming. It's going to be in every piece of software.
Oh,
You'd
I'm
think.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's move on to you're involved with the Bytes Institute. You're teaching with them. You were busy during the PDC at their booth. How are
Hmm.
things going there?
Yeah, oh no, things are always chugging along there. It's always busy.
Yeah.
They have like new courses every month. So actually, right now we're doing an online live surgery, connective tissue grafting in Toronto with our Toronto faculty.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
actually happening right now.
Oh,
So
yeah, you're missing it for.
I'm competing against them.
Oh, I see. Let's beat him. Yeah, that's right. That's cool. So, what's your involvement with them? Like, what sort of curriculum are you teaching? Um,
Yeah, I've I've actually I'm only a recent I joined it really recently. So just last year I joined the faculty, and I've just been just getting my feet wet into it. So uh, I just went to UBC last week to talk to fourth years about implant placement. It was we did a course where they were able to do their very first hands on a model placing implants. So that was very fun. And in September I'm gonna be running a 3D printing workshop. We're gonna heavily focus on the surgical guides with my friend Dr. Paul Lee.
Awesome. Right on. How's that enriched sort of your point of view of just the, you know, your career, your practice? Is it teaching always kind of, I think, brings a different perspective? Have you found that?
Yeah, you know what they say. Teaching really reveals what you know. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know, you can't teach.
Yeah.
So what I've been finding is all the shortfalls that I of my knowledge, and I've been always,
Yeah.
I think it's been great just empowering myself and also adding more knowledge to me. I think I'm more, I learn more while when I teach.
Yeah. And it kind of forces you to be at the forefront, right? You got to know sort of the latest and greatest. And
That's right.
um, yeah, that's cool. Anything up and coming that you're going to be a part of?
Yeah. This summer, Bytes are going to do a externship in Mexico, Tijuana. So we're gonna be inviting about 10 participants to come into their newly built implant center by Megagen, and we'll be doing live surgeries on actual patients under supervision. Basically, we get like a one-to-one mentoring from our faculty.
So is that tequila included, like cerveza included, all inclusive or what?
I'm sure there's gonna be some of that,
Yeah, yeah.
as long as you bring your own line.
There. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's the deal. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Um, so what's your take with like education? We talked about UBC. Um, are they keeping up with all these new pieces of technology coming through? From an educational standpoint, are the big universities are we keeping up with everything that's available in terms of technology?
Um, Unfortunately, when I talk to the recent fourth year dental students, I don't think so. I don't
Hmm.
think so. They're still teaching the way that I've been taught 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't think things have changed much. But also, you can't always blame the dental schools because they don't have the time or the capacity to teach these new stuff. They're busy teaching the basics,
Right.
and so that the dental students that graduating is capable of doing the basics of the dentistry,
Right.
right? So all these technology that's if we add it on top, it might be too much.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's so interesting. So it's truly upon the individual once, it's a career of lifelong learning then, you know.
Yeah, that's why these as guys like us at Bytes Institute, like these private institution comes in play, because if you want to learn the newest and the greatest, you gotta seek it yourself, and we are here to provide that information for you. We're always studying, and we're trying to organize things into a course that it's easily digestible.
Yeah.
So we're one of the first ones, like our one of our senior faculty, Dr. Bernard Jin. He's one of the ones who brought the PRF to Canada. He went to US and he has a story about buying the first PRF machine in Canada.
That's
So
cool. Yeah. Um, it's the yeah. I can see that there's the gap. So, um, yeah. You see the DDI is another one, the Digital Institute.
hmm
It's imperative, and every veteran I've talked to, they say that like the ones that enjoy their career the longest and have the most fulfillment are the folks that are keeping up with it all. So
yeah, I mean, I recently heard that your brain gets more activated when you're actually playing than working,
yeah,
right? So if you play in your work, then your brain activation goes on fire, and you are able to achieve a lot more things and get to enjoy your careers and your life much more.
That's really interesting to me, actually. When when you think about it, like when you're at play, you're kind of uncapped, right?
Hmm.
Work is in itself is it feels restrict. Like even the word feels restrictive, right?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
like I can see, you know, you take off these capacities when you enjoy something, right?
Hmm.
That's you can tell when people you can tell in somebody's eyes when they're passionate about something, and it's that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's an interesting thought to me. What are your recommendations to the new grads or the students today? Like, what's going to set them up for success? In the first 5 years of getting out there.
Yeah, I've been asked that question before, and this is what I've answered. Just find a good mentor.
Mentors, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, whatever job, the associate position you get next, as soon as you graduate, make sure, doesn't matter where it is, it doesn't matter how busy it is. It just, if you make sure you have a great mentor that can help you grow. Unfortunately, when I graduated and my first job, I was lacking that quite significantly because
yeah,
I was thrown in this satellite clinic and I was all by myself.
right.
Like there's no other, the owner was not there. It was just me and one assistant and one hygienist. That was it. And it gets very overwhelming really quickly.
Yeah. So as a guy with, like yourself, you have this expanding mind. How did you grow then? What did you do for yourself because you were in this position?
Well, also, well, thankfully we live in the world of information.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, you go on YouTube, you go on Facebook, you go on Dental Towns. That's where I was. I spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
I read upon and I saw other people's cases, how they do things, and I just try to absorb as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a
It's
lot of self studying.
it's a great time to be alive, that's for sure. If it's a backsplash or a 4 canal endo, you can
Hmm.
probably find a video somewhere, right?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool. Um, yeah, I can't like I can I think back to the time where we all weren't attached to this. We are kind of cyborgs now in a sense because
Oh yeah.
these tools that we have, like I'm with my kids running around it. I told my daughter the other day, it's like, do you know that daddy used to answer the phone and it was like on a wire? You know and how fun was it to be on a phone call that you didn't want to be on, and you can just slam it
That's right.
down. Yeah.
I know.
These
Do you
kids will
remember the
never
flip?
know.
Do you
The
remember the
flip.
flip phones? You just
Yes,
shut it down.
they still exist out there though. They're
Yeah.
still alive. But I think you know you just to be successful, you have to dive in. Like you just have to get into it and not be afraid, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Fear is only gonna hold you back.
Yeah. Or I don't know if you're a Dune fan. Fear is the mind killer. That's
Oh yes, yes. I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I know that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's a great one. What else is happening? What is interesting to you? In the dental world or just in the world in general these days? What's sort of capturing your mind?
I'm just busy preparing these coming workshops in September and the other small projects that's going on. And yeah, I just been really busy just playing around with this new resin that I got in 3D printing.
Right on.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
I've been printing, I've been staining, glazing it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. What else do you have your eye on technology wise? Is there anything else that you want to dive into?
Technology wise, yeah, I mean, the most thing that I'm interested in is 3D printing right now.
Hmm.
We can talk about the new machine they got from Sprint Ray. Yeah, that seems very interesting.
Yeah. What's going on with those guys?
So right now, current technology in 3D printing dental stuff is basically it's a pool of resin, and then you bring the build plate down, submerge it, and right underneath that build plate, you open it up just about 100 micrometers, and shine a light and cure the exact layer shape, and
Hmm.
then the build plate goes up 100 microns, and then you shine the next layer, and then it just keeps going until you're done.
Like the carbon.
So yeah. So basically, that's the technology, and the limitation of that technology is the resin has to flow under the build plate
Gotcha.
as it lifts up. Okay, and so what that entitles is that resin cannot be viscous. It has to flow. It has to flow under. But as we add more ceramic fillers into these resins, the thing is they get thicker, like incredibly thicker. And so that was our limitation. But the interesting thing Sprint Ray did is they basically used a piston. They used a Pascal's law. So um, as the build plate goes up, it's the resin is connected to a tube where the piston pushes it down, and it forces that viscous resin right under the build plate.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that is pretty good.
the engineers that work on these things must have a lot of fun.
I know it, and it's like such a simple solution, and then nobody else really thought about it, and then boom, there it is. They're the
Yeah,
first ones.
yeah, it's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I see so many different companies and people doing so many really interesting things right now.
Hmm.
It's kind of all coming together. It's cool to see, and you know, to add to why the Meta is such a good platform is it's an open platform too.
That's right.
So, you know, plugging and playing all your other pieces to the, you know, the singular piece of equipment is a lot of these people or a lot of these companies are kind of opening up the door to talk to each other now because they're
Hmm.
kind of pushing themselves out of the market because of that.
Hmm.
So awesome. What else is going on? I don't want to keep too much of your time here. So what
What else? Yeah, my life is pretty boring. I just work, come home, mow the
yeah.
lawn. That's about it, right?
Yeah. Any big plans? You going on any trips or
No, not anytime soon. Uh, yeah, not anytime soon, unfortunately.
yeah.
Just I'm gonna stay busy at work.
Yeah.
And yeah, just it's just a year for working for me
Yeah.
this year.
Well, you know what? Like you called it. Like it's your passion. You can see it. It's your where you play. So yeah, I don't blame you. You just enjoy your work, and you know how many people could actually say that they're excited to take off on a Monday and get in there and into the office and do what you do. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. I commend you. It's great. I've been
Thank you, thank you.
and you run an amazing practice. Obviously, I've been in there and see what the team's like, and it's a great place for your patients. That it's something that you should be proud of. You got a great place.
Thank you. Yeah, we work hard to kind of keep that family family kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's important. You know what? As a patient walking through the door, that's the thing that you feel. And I've seen it time and time again where it's not like that. And you know, if it's a family feel, your staff loves to be there, and they're taking care of the patients. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what we swore the oath for.
There you go. There you go.
Hmm.
Um, you know, taking the ego out of it. You know, there's a lot of that out there too, but that's a whole other podcast. Um, well, sir, I let's cut it off here. We'll definitely love to do this again, and you know, as you dive deeper into the 3D printing world, I'd love to pick your brain some more on that front.
Yeah, sounds good. If I have anything new coming up, I'll let you know.
Awesome. Where can folks find you if they're interested in hearing about what's going on with Bytes, or you should go be a patient at Cloverdale Dental.
Yeah,
Um,
so I practice at the Cloverdale Dental Center in Surrey, BC, Canada. So you guys can go to our website www.cloverdaledentalbc.com, and also I'm pretty active on Instagram. My Instagram tag is sj the dentist. So if you can follow me, I post my cases there and then try to give you tips about 3D printing and implant surgery, which is our my passion.
you should. I've been following you. I love your posts.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing good content there, sir.
I'm trying to make more reels.
Reels, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you should look into? You might already be using it, but Opus AI is a great AI tool.
Opus AI. Okay.
Opus AI, yeah. So you literally just dump a video file into Opus AI and it
Oh yeah.
cuts out reels for you.
Oh, wonderful. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look into that right now. Yeah.
yeah. Do it. It'll save you some
Yeah.
time and it's awesome. It's such a great tool.
Thank. That's a good tip. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Scott, I'll let you go here. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. You too, Mark. Take care.
Okay. Take care.